everyone. Happy Friday. Be sure to say hello and let me know you're here and that you can hear me okay. And we will get started here in just a couple of minutes. Hope everyone is staying cool. Not dealing with any of the crazy flood water that's going on. I understand we're getting yet more rain today or tomorrow. Like we don't need it. Too much. I have a super cute card to show you. Very easy. Limited supplies, but it has a lot of pop to it. All right. So again, make sure you let me know you're here and that you can hear me. All right, I am going to go ahead and get started. Today is, hi Donna. Hi Diana. Hi Tracy. Thanks for letting me know you're here. Today is Friday, January 10th. Oh my Lord. July. Oh, it's one of those days. July 10th, 2026. And this is our weekly Facebook Live here on DonnaStamps.com. Again, thanks for being here tonight. I have a super cute project to share with you that actually uses limited supplies that you probably have in some shape or form. So you could easily recreate this card with things that you already have. A couple of things that are happening starting today, if you have not already heard, we've had a well-kept secret in the Stampin' Up! World for the last month or so. And we actually get to announce it today, and I'm sure that you've probably seen some demonstrators sharing it, but we have a brand new foiling system. I have never done foiling before. I'm not sure. I'm gonna figure it out. Everyone's saying it's super, super easy, but it seems to be all the rage. And Stampin' Up! Has put together a very nice collection of products, not only in foil, but also in dies and stamps that coordinate to go along with this. Now, I first want to tell you that the dies that are part of this system do not work with they don't cut, okay? So they're not intended to use in the cut and emboss machine by themselves as if you wanted to cut out a die cut, okay? The two systems work together, and I actually posted a video here on the group that you can watch to check that out. Now, the whole system includes the heating pad, the different wand, etc. that you need to use, and some foil. Okay, I'm being told it does have some foil with it. If you purchase that between now and January 4th, so through Christmas, Stampin' Up! Is going to send you a link to a brand new free class that's valued at $30 to go along with your machine. So I don't have it yet. I've been on the fence. Now that I see it, we'll decide. I can't. There's just too many pretty things going on right now that I'm picking and choosing very carefully. And so we'll see, but I'm loving what I'm seeing, and there's a lot of videos out there about it. Just a reminder, July online exclusives went live at the beginning of the month. I did post the handout for you so that you can go out and check out all of the products if you're like me and you like to have a hard copy that you can mark on. Lots of fun things are in this. Many we'll be playing with in the coming months, so be sure and check that out. Of course, it's a new month, so that means a brand new product of the month, absolutely gorgeous, called Begonia Belle. It's a two-step stamp. It also has a lot of the distinctive qualities of some of the stamp sets we've had in the past. But you can get that for free when you place an order before shipping and tax of $75 or more. Now, if you take any rewards off of that, that comes off of that $75. So make sure that if you want to use rewards, that the actual order itself after those rewards is $75 so that you can still get your stamp set for $5. I know that gets a little confusing, but again, any rewards that you might want to use come off the top. So for example, if you have $15 in rewards, you want to make sure that you place a $90 order. It'll take 15 off, leaving the $75 balance. You'll get your item for $5, and then you would pay shipping and tax on the $75 plus $5. But that's how that works. Registration is open for this month's Club Cove. We're going to be featuring the Waterside Retreat. I don't know if you can see the Adirondack chair. I love this. Love the paper. It's going to be a lot of fun, especially if you are a lake goer. The images in here are perfect for your pictures and things for the lake. Upcoming events, one I want to share with you. I've had a lot of people asking me about it, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to show it. This is coming up on this Tuesday at 6:30. And it is going to be at the Marine Corps League, where I hold a lot of my classes. And it is a no stamping class, okay? So it's very easy to put these together. And if you can't do it in person, you can get the kit to go. It's $35. It makes 8 cards. You have approximately $25 in product. And I'm going to kind of show you what you're going to get in addition to the cards, which I don't normally do. So you're going to get a whole pack of the 25 to 27 in color dots, a half a pack of both of these ephemera packs. So you've got one with sentiment and one with lots of different elements, and you'll see those here when I show you the card. You're also going to get a half a pack of the Everyday Essentials paper. I love this paper so much. It all coordinates in different ways. You've got some checks. Love this one. I'm using this one like crazy. So then you've got some crumb cake, dots again. But it's perfect. Like it says, it's an Everyday Essentials pack, and it truly has all kinds of images that you can use for just about everything. Here is a striped. This one is kind of a ombre with the crumb cake. And then another stripe. I love all of the images because you can use them for both male and female cards. Here's another one that's great. That looks kind of sanded. And then you have this one that's fun for journaling on scrapbook pages. So you're going to get a half a pack of that paper. And you also get a PDF, of course, with all the instructions. So if you ever wanted to go back and make them, you can. But let me just very quickly show you the cards. I know they're going to be upside down or backwards, and I apologize, but you get the idea. So we've got this one. And again, they all use these little elements. I love this one. And this one too. And then you've got one with lemonade. So you've got 4 going portrait, 4 going landscape. This one's fun. And I think this one's my favorite with the little flip-flops and the sunglasses. So you will make one of each of those. So 8 cards total. And it'll come with all of the consumables. So I'll have everything already pre-cut for you, die cut, etc. And then your designer series paper you will cut either in person or at home. So I only have a limited number of kits that I'm doing, and I believe I have 4 left. So if you are interested in that, registration closes on Sunday. this coming Sunday. So be sure and go over and register, whether it's in person or to pick up, so that you get yours. I also have a brand new event coming up. I'm super excited to be doing sips and cards again. This is going to be at Off the Rails Winery and Bourbon Bar, that happens to be right around the corner from where I do most of my classes at the Marine Corps League. Super, super cute place. But it is 4 cards for $35, and your $35 includes a beverage. So whether it be a wine, a glass of wine, or a beer or another beverage, you'll be able to get that as part of your registration fee. If you've never been over there, it is the cutest little place, and I think you're really, really going to enjoy it. And then, of course, my Stamp a Stack for this month is Christmas in July, and registration for that ends on the 19th, I believe it is. Yep, the 19th, so that's on the 26th. 16 cards for each of 4 designs for $25. And if you're on my team, you get to come for $16. We are going to be doing Christmas cards July, September, September, October, November. So you're going to have a total of 4 months of Christmas cards, and each month they will be different designs. So you can mix or match. You can come to all, you can come to a couple, depending on how much that you need. Okay. And then, of course, make sure you're commenting, saying hello, and letting me know you're here. Thank you, Linda. Make sure that, like I said, you're commenting, because your name is going to go into the drawing for the card that we did last time. And we did this fun little pop-up Z-fold card using the Splash and Relax. And I've got everybody's name here in the hat. So let's see who's going to get that. Oh, they're sticking together. All right, this is going to go to Bonnie Morris. So Bonnie, I will get that to you. And then, of course, if you share my video, which I greatly appreciate, type the word shared in all capital letters, and your name will go into a second drawing for a stack of cards from my stash. So I've got everybody here. Those are red tickets, and let's see who's going to get that. Okay, and this one's gonna go to Tracy Conrad. So Tracy, I will get those ready for you. All right. And then, of course, if you place an order in my online store, not only do you earn Stampin' Rewards, but if it is $35 or more before shipping and tax, I like to send out, what did I just do with it? There it is, an embellishment. And I do a different one each month. And this month we are doing the Array of Dots. I love these. And they go with the Extraordinary paper that's in the new catalog. So you'll get those free from me as a thank you. All right. Let me go ahead and put the camera down, and we will get started. Let me make sure I'm where I need to be. What did I do with my stamp set? There it is. We are going to be working with the All Aflutter stamp set. I love this. It's a 2-step stamp. You can do so much with it, and it comes with a coordinating punch, which makes it even more fun, right? Who doesn't like to be able to punch images very quickly? Now, this is going to be using that paper that I told you about, the Everyday Essentials, as well. So again, you can kind of see how these are going to mix or match. Okay. Oh, I forgot to score my card. Let me grab my paper trimmer. I knew I was forgetting to do something. So this is just your standard 8.5 by 5.5 card. And we are going to score this at 4 1/4. So let me do that very quickly. Make sure you have your scoring blade in the track when you do that. We're going to score that at 4 1/4. Okay. You also need a piece of Pretty Peacock. This is 4 by 5 1/4. you need another piece of Lost Lagoon. This one is 3 3/4 by 5, and I have embossed it with the Daisy, the Lazy Daisy embossing folder. And I don't know if you can see this, but it's a very deep impression, and I just love it. It looks pretty either way. So whether you like it embossed or debossed, it just makes a really pretty design. You also need some basic white. This one is 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. You need just a scrap to do some stamping. An element. This is the second largest stitch circle from Stylish Shapes. And then you need some designer series paper. So I went with the coordinating colors here. This one is 3 by 4. This one is 3 3/4, a little bit wider. I like to make it just a tad bit wider so I can trim it off. And then this is a 1/2 by 4. And our colors are going to be Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon. So I'm going to start first by folding my card. I'm using my bone folder, of course. If you do not have a bone folder, you need to add one to your basic kit because it just makes everything much more crisp, I think. These two pieces are going to layer together, so let me go ahead and do that. And this is a pretty quick card, but like I said, it's a great way to use up designer series paper. It's minimal supplies that you probably have. And even if you don't have this stamp set, you could still utilize this layout. Okay, so we're gonna do that. And I jumped ahead, but that's okay. Let me see. Let me go ahead and, I think I can lift it, yeah. Where's my mat? Because I don't want to lay it down. Okay, there we go. I forgot to put this strip on. We're going to put this strip more, not in the middle, but down just slightly. And like I said, I did make it slightly longer because it's easier to trim it off than to bring it back, right? So I'm going to put that right about there, I think. Okay. And we all have strips laying around. And you can see why I put it on my silicone mat because it even stuck there. I'm going to trim this off. Okay, throw that away. Okay, now we'll add just a little smidgen again so that we know that it sticks. Okay, this will go here. Okay, so that'll go there. Then this is going to layer onto the front of our card. And again, just using this embossing folder adds a lot of texture to the card and just really causes it to pop. Okay, so we've got that there. Okay. So next, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to add that 4 by 3, and that's going to go here. And we're going to kind of center it onto the front of the card. Now, I could pop this up, but what I have found is designer series paper by itself doesn't always hold steady like cardstock does. So instead, I'm going to do our element, but I need to stamp on it first. So we're going to do that. Okay, so that's our base card. And you can see just how pretty by using this pretty monochromatic, minus with the white, of course, it makes it. So it makes a nice way to coordinate. Okay, I'm gonna bring in, I can go ahead and do this. We will add our strip down here to the bottom. And I'm just gonna lay it aside for a second while I get our ink situated. Trim that off just a bit. Like I said, it's easier to trim off a little bit than it is to try and put it back. Okay, I'm gonna bring in my Lost Lagoon and my Pretty Peacock. Now, with this stamp set, you can do it one of two ways. It has not one, but two different outline images, and it also has a background solid, okay? I find that it's easier to, if I'm gonna do two-tone, to stamp my outline in my darker color first, and then that way when I go to put on my lighter color, in this case Lost Lagoon, I can see it better. Now, one of the easiest ways to be able to make this lay for you well is to cut out, and I don't know what I did with it, I just had it, now I don't see it, cut out just a negative, okay? You can put your butterflies to the side, but keep that. And that way you can lay your stamp into it, and then when you go to pick it up, it'll be right where you need it to be, and it will lay really easy, okay? So I'm gonna start first, like I said, with my peacock. And this is just a scrap. I'm gonna just stamp this straight up and down. All right, so while I have my peacock out, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my front sentiment, which is just the word friend. And I'm gonna stamp that down here toward the bottom, okay? And then for my inside piece, again, in peacock, I'm gonna do fluttering by to say hi. And we're gonna add that right there. Okay, so that takes care of all of the peacock. Lost Lagoon is one of my absolute favorite colors. I hope it never retires. Years ago, we had one called, what was that? Mellow Moss. Oh my gosh, every card I made had Mellow Moss on it. And I was so sad when it retired. And I'm hoping Lost Lagoon and Peacock don't go anywhere anytime soon. Okay, so now I want to take my outlines, and I could do this full force, but I want it to be slightly lighter. So I am going to go ahead and, does anybody else's grid paper look like this? Like I keep using it because why not, right? And I'm going to stamp off, and then I can line those up. And I'm sorry if my head is in the way. And stamp. Now, one thing, oh, pretty good. One thing I want to caution you on, especially with this stamp set and others, is that when you go to take these off of your blocks, you have to be really careful in that you don't just yank it off the block, okay? And the reason that I say that is that these little, what I want to call connector pieces, so I'm talking about like this little section and this little section right there, they are much thinner than the actual images that we're using. And when you pull those off in a straight force, you're going to actually stretch them so they don't line up. So I just want to remind you that what you want to do is hold your block in your hand and just roll the stamp off, okay? So as you're rolling it, you're not really stretching it, you're just peeling it off the block, okay? And that way you don't run the risk of stretching them. So I'll do this one again. So again, just kind of take your fingers holding the block. You can see when I get right here, it's very thin, not very, but thinner. And I just want to keep rolling until it comes off the block like that, okay? So that will save you some frustration. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my punch, and you can see that because I stamped it similar to how it's going to be in the punch, it's pretty easy to line these up. So I'm going to go ahead and punch those out. Okay. Save that for something else later. And then on these, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just bend them slightly, okay? Not a lot, just a little. And you can put these down flat, or you can put them up on dimensionals. But what I'm finding is that if I bend them, they're not quite as bulky, but they still have the same pop. What am I looking for? Here they are. So we're going to add some dimensionals to the back. And we're going to put this right in the center. Just like that. And then we will take and add our butterflies. And I'm just going to try and go this way. Yep, okay. So we'll add our big one. And again, we can push them up, okay? We'll add our medium one. You don't want a lot of adhesive because you're basically just bending up those ends. So if one is up more than the other, it'll work for you still, okay? And then we'll add the small one. Come on, there we go. And again, you could add these on dimensionals, but I'm just going to do it like that. Okay, so there's our front. Let me add our inside piece. Again, I love this color combination. Even though the peacock is not necessarily in the paper, it really coordinates very nicely. Okay, and then I have some of the Pearls of Beauty. These have white and Calypso Coral and Crumb Cake. And I'm just going to use the small white ones. And these have some really nice shimmer in them. So they add a lot. We'll just do that. All right. And there is your card. So again, and you can, if you put it in the envelope, when they take it out, they can lift these. And I think it just gives it still the texture it needs without being too bulky. Okay, so there's that one with your inside. And then here's another one that I did with the other paper that just escaped me right this second. It's gone. I don't remember. But this one is with, what is the blue? Balmy blue. Is that right? Balmy blue? Yeah. And that coordinating paper out of that same pack. I think that's Everyday Essentials. No, that's this one. What is this paper? This paper is Mixed Up Patterns. So it has some reds, some yellows, some greens, etc. And we've used it previously. So this is Mixed Up Patterns. The other one is Everyday Essentials. But again, this one, of course, we use the Nested Essentials on it. This one, I use the Stylish Shape. So you can do a lot of that. If I am lucky enough to, I know exactly who I'm going to send this to. My mother-in-law would love me forever. Really? Is she a butterfly fan? I just thought they turned out really, really pretty. And again, they would look just as nice if you stamp the images, but there's something about punching them out and popping them up or bending them up that just changes the whole persona. So I hope you'll like this, and we'll give it a try with whatever designer series paper you have. And of course, again, any elements that you have, flowers or anything, would work just as nicely. So again, keep in mind, and I'll show those cards again really quick for anyone who might have missed them. Again, my favorite. Super cute, right? I love this paper. This one's got Wink Estella on the lemonade, the little boots, the bicycle, the little beach, and then the watering can. And you'll make all 8 of those, and you're going to have a ton of elements. And one thing I forgot to tell you about the elements is, let me grab some really fast, because I think they're a tad bit misleading. Wait a minute. Let me get my open pack because I want to show you this. So this is what I have left, which is quite a bit out of what I'm getting. Okay, so out of your, but these are thick. Can you see that? They're not thin. They're thicker than cardstock. But the cool thing about them is they're a sticker. Can you see that split right there? So you can use them as a die cut or as a sticker, either one. And they're $7 a pack. So there's one that has sentiments. There's one that has these elements. There's several. So if you've not seen these little mixer matches, you need to check them out because they make tons of cards. Very, very simple. You just add your designer series paper to it. So check those out. If you need anything, please let me know. Have a great weekend, and we will be back next week with another fun project to share. So thanks for being here tonight, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye, everyone.